Hello, I wanted to talk about some Deltarune theories. Mainly, I think it's about 3. Like Chapter 5, Chapter 6, and possibly 7. Just the late part of Deltarune. My first theory is that Chapter 5 is theoretically the end of Deltarune as we know it right now. It, I think, was supposed to be the original ending, and I can make a theory on it. The theory is as follows. Chapter 5 is an all-out shit show. You get Flowey, you get Death, you get the Night, you get the Roaring. It's everything they can throw at you, they throw at you. Deaths of characters, the titans everywhere. The end. Deltarune ends on Chapter 5, but the soul, the player, possibly even Gaster, resets the timeline at the very end so you can start over, so you can fix the world, so the roaring never happens. Which means in Chapter 6 and Chapter 7 you maybe play again as Chris or play as the vessel, and you try to fix everything. You try to prevent the roaring, you try to prevent the possible character deaths if they happen. And when you come to Chapter 7, and which would be Chapter 5 but replayed again, you prevent the roaring. You prevent the titans, you prevent the fountains, you prevent everything. This is my first theory. That Chapter 5 is the ending and Chapter 6 and 7 is just a new game plus of the game. With maybe Gaster, but that's far-fetched fan service, because showing Gaster I think would mean confirming his sprite after 11 years, which is something. My second theory is that Death, the Roaring Knight mainly, is dead. There are corpses in the lake. In Chapter 3, if I recall correctly, there's a board and there's a black deer in the lake. I don't know if it's true. I forgot Chapter 3. I didn't play Deltarune for like a year. I played it last when Chapter 3 and 4 released. My theory is that Death and the Roaring Knight are not alive in the light world. They can only exist in darkness, night, like the time of day, the night, not the Roaring Knight. They can only exist in darkness, and this is why Death and the Roaring Knight, they're the same person, want to bring about the roaring, so they can live again. Because, let's say, this is my theory. Let's start on my theory. Death's body after her death, because maybe she died somewhere, was thrown in the lake, or she drowned in the lake and her body was never found. From that, her body decomposed, her flesh breaks down, My theory is that the Roaring Knight is a skeleton. Not like Sans or Papyrus or Gaster, just a skeleton. If you look closely at the sprite of the Roaring Knight, mainly the torso area and maybe the shoulders, they look awfully similar to that of a human spine, ribcage and a hip bone. If you look at their hands, they have holes in them. Who else has holes in their hands? Gaster. Who is Gaster? A skeleton. The head is tricky. The head is extremely tricky, but look at it. I would say the knight's visor, that little white slit, is a hanging open mouth of a deer skull. There's no muscle to hold it. It's rotten, it's decomposed, eaten by whatever is in the lake. It's hanging open. This theory is kind of debunked with the sprite of the night screaming. But at the same time, it's the Dark World. It doesn't have to make sense. If you believe it's screaming, then it's screaming because I think that's how the Dark World works. It's mainly based on imagination. So this is my theory. Death wants to bring about the roaring so she can live again in the darkness. Or she can live, because that's how the Dark Worlds work. The Light World would become a Dark World. The biggest one, the merging of all of them. And Death would live again. She would finally live again. She wouldn't be a corpse at the bottom of the lake. That's all. I think that's all. That's all my theories, unless I already forgot some of them. I could maybe talk about Flowey, but Flowey is extremely tricky. My theory is that Flowey will be in Chapter 5 and he is just a flower. Azrael comes by Asgard's shop to buy a flower for maybe Toriel, maybe someone else. He picks up a yellow flower with pink thorns. He pricks his finger on it, blood drops onto the flower, and when Asgard's shop becomes a Dark World, that flower becomes Flowey. Because as we know, Flowey is Azrael as a flower, because he died on top of flowers, his dust went there. Azrael doesn't have to die for something to be left behind. He can bleed in Deltarune. That blood drips down onto the flower, and the flower becomes Flowey in Chapter 5. Which means that the Roaring Knight and Flowey can work together to bring about the roaring, because Flowey can only exist in a Dark World, and maybe the flower wants to exist. And based on my previous theory, this can only exist in Dark Worlds or somewhere where it's dark, like at the end of Chapter 3, I believe it was, where the knight just grabs Undyne. It was during night time, so they were covered by the Shroud of Darkness. The darkness that's also present in Dark Worlds. There were no streetlights, I think. There was no light. So that's why the night was in the other world. Although I don't believe a skeleton would be able to pick up someone as, living as Undyne, but that's just Deltarune. That does finish my theories. That's all. That's all I can make of it. That's all you need to know. I hope at least some of these are true, because I think they're personally good theories. I mean, not good, just like it would be cool to see them like this. What did Stubby Fox? We don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it.